Before we went through our multi-million-dollar bankruptcy, I went and stood on a bridge.
Wow.
And I had to have that talk with God because I was done. That was the only way that I thought would silence the noise, is if I was out of the picture.
What stops you?
I asked God, I asked the universe, I asked the creator, why am I here? What am I doing? And I was told that you're not done. We're not done with you.
What is your reaction when you see something like this?
Had I had that this month, I would be very close to purchasing my trailer.
That's right. Welcome to Finance Action, the show where we take action. My name is Romain and today I am with Marleen. Marleen, how are you doing?
I am great.
Awesome, Marleen. Let's look at your profile. You are 52 years old. You're originally from Michigan, but you were raised in Germany and you currently live in Kitsap, Washington. You work as a store manager for a boating store, but also, very interestingly, you are an energy healer. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Looking at the way you've rated your personal finances, Marleen, from chilling to Mayday, you've rated yourself as I'm okay, which is great to hear, although the story might be a little bit tougher than that. We'll be discussing that together. But first, I want to understand, you rated yourself I'm okay. Marleen, kind of what's going on and what has been some of your story?
Yes, today I am okay.
All
In
right.
2004, I was a multi-location franchise business owner.
Very
I
nice.
love that. It was in Kitsap County. I had 3 stores, 40 employees.
Whoa, 40 employees.
40 employees.
Okay.
Yep. Love that. And so we had a house on the water and we had multiple cars and it was wonderful.
But then what happened?
In 2011, we had a multi-million-dollar bankruptcy.
Ooh.
So we lost it all. I knocked on my dad's door and I said, hey, can we move into your basement? Because we lost our home as well.
Whoa, so you became homeless right away?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Did you have kids at the time?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
so that
I had a
must have not
12-year-old.
been easy. And you had 0.
We had 0. Actually, the IRS went into our bank account and took out over $10,000.
Wow.
just pulled
So
it
at
out.
the time, I guess you were around, 40 years old. Pretty much had to restart everything from 0 at the time. Huh?
Yes.
How did the process go when you also have, a young kid and you have to reset?
Well, throwing out that Mayday was wonderful. I'm so grateful for my parents for being able to say yes and having the extra space for us to move into.
Okay.
But then the job hunt, right? Going from a business owner to job hunting where you're interviewing and people are saying, well, you're overqualified. You're overqualified. You're overqualified. We don't want you to take our job. You're overqualified. But all I wanted to do was make sure that I was able to make some income, whether it was minimum wage.
You just needed a job, right?
Just needed a job so I could buy food to feed my family.
After that period of little by little rebuilding yourself, I imagine, how did everything go?
I was able to find a job.
Okay.
However, there was some health issues. My husband had some health issues. He had a stroke.
Oh, okay. A
And
stroke.
He actually had a stroke during a football game.
No way.
Yes. So we called 911 and they're like, we're sending an ambulance. I'm like, no, you're not, because this was happened on Sunday. I'll bring him down. Thankfully, it was a very mild stroke. We were able to recover. I have some superpowers.
You have some superpowers.
I have some
We'll
superpowers.
be discussing about that energy healer later and the different facets around this.
Yes.
You're creating an income from it as well.
Yes. So I was able to use some of my energy healing on him with that. In 2020 to 2023, he had 5 heart attacks.
5 heart attacks.
5 heart attacks.
Oh
Yes.
my.
Yes.
How old is he right now?
He's 60.
Okay, so not too old. I mean, he's still pretty young. Is he able to work?
No.
Oh.
No, only if he could take a nap after a couple of hours.
Oh.
Because it's very exhausting, right? Having had the
imagine.
strokes and having the heart attacks.
Yep, my father had 2 as well. My father had 2 heart attacks in 2008 during the financial crisis, and it completely flipped his world. And he's been a different person since then. But he's still alive today, 78 years old and going.
Yay.
But I can imagine how did that impact. And I'm assuming that also impacted your finances at the time. You had to pretty much carry on the couple finances. Is that what happened?
I was his caretaker for about 6 months. and until he was able to really to take care of this simple things himself, right?
Wow, I
the
see.
functions of taking care of himself, and knowing that when I would go away to work and come back, that he'd still be on the boat.
I see.
Right.
Oh, so on the boat?
Yes.
What do you mean on the boat?
So we lived on a boat in 2019.
Wow, how has been the life for living on a boat?
You sleep amazing on a boat.
No way.
Yes, you get rocked to sleep.
Oh, I
My
guess no
grandchildren,
seasickness.
no motion sickness.
Okay.
Yeah. So
all
for
right.
3 years we lived on a boat, and I worked very minimally and was launching my business.
But today you're ranking yourself as I'm okay. Tell me a little bit more about that specifically today.
So today I am okay because I do have a full-time job.
I see. Okay. And today your finances, you feel okay about those, right?
Yes.
Okay, and we'll see. It might not be fully the case, Marleen. Okay, as we dive into our next segment, now that we've understood a little bit better your story, your income, and your assets. A brief apartheid, guys, to invite you to join our group of people that want to be on a debt-free journey. So if you like those type of content, we invite you to subscribe to our channel as well as leave a comment to which I will respond personally. Now back to our story. So you are potentially one of the person that has the most amount of side gigs that I've heard so far on this show, which is very interesting, and we'll be diving into those little by little. Let's start first with number one. You are a store manager for a boating company. How much does that pay you?
That pays me $30 an hour.
Okay, how many hours do you work a week?
I work 40 plus hours a week.
Okay, well, that's good. So that's about, 57,600 or so. But you also have other streams of income. And I want to dive here briefly into the energy healing component. So you are a healer.
I am a healer.
Tell me more about this. What is this?
So an energy healer is someone that helps shift the energy from where you're at to where you need to be or where you want to be.
Okay.
So I am a certified Reiki master.
Oh, Reiki. Okay.
Reiki. So Reiki is energy over the body. We're pulling in energy from the universe and through me. So I'm like an antenna. And then I also do access bars. And access bars is healing over your head. So it's like doing a Control-Alt-Delete on the yuck stuck in the what the fudgesicles, all the stuff that we're holding on to.
Okay. How did you even discover that you had those skills?
Before we went through our multi-million-dollar bankruptcy, I went and stood on a bridge.
Wow.
And I had to have that talk with God because I was done. And all of the drama and the trauma that I was going through with being the sole financial provider, for being the person that was making the decisions, for being the person that made some bad decisions in our finances, I was ready to take a leap.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay. So hold on. That's bringing here to the next level. How old were you at the time?
I was 40.
Oh, you were 40.
I was 40.
Oh,
that's when we closed the stores.
That's when you lost everything.
We lost everything.
What stops you?
I asked God, I asked the universe, I asked the creator, why am I here? What am I doing? I have failed. I failed my family. I failed my daughter. I failed my customers. I failed my father. I borrowed the money from my father. And that was the only way that I thought would silence the noise, is if I was out of the picture.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
I was told that you're not done. We're not done with you. You have a purpose. We have a passion to ignite inside you. And so then I said, okay, show me the way. Show it to me and I will follow. Show me the signs and I will follow. Mm-hmm. And then I would have I had a conversation with somebody about Reiki healing. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. What is Reiki healing?
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Uh-huh. Crystals, yeah, they're pretty. And now I love what I do.
Okay.
I'm able to help people feel lighter. I'm able to help bring happiness back.
I see. So I am a fairly analytical individual, and it's true that I've expanded a little bit my mind towards those components. But how has been your success rate? Or have you had components that have showed you that what you're doing actually works.
Absolutely. So I have witnessed, other than the witnessing of myself, of cool things manifesting. We were looking for a new boat. And then my husband had stepped into the manager's office and he had said, "Hey, is anyone selling a boat?" He goes, "Yeah, 8 minutes ago, Ashley was just in here." So he went over to talk to Ashley. He said, "We're buying your boat." And so this was the first time we met her. She's lived in the same arena for 2 years, and we never met her because she's a traveling educator.
I see.
And so he had conversations with her, and I came and met her. Then she shared with me some of her yuck stuck in the what the fudgesicles around relationships, and we did a lot of removing of her stuff. And 76 days later, after she sold the boat to us, she actually married.
Wow.
She got married to her true love. Yes, and she met him in Vienna.
Within the 76 days of you meeting her, she got married?
Yes.
Are they still together?
They're still together. Yes, they just celebrated their anniversary. Yes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Has there been any other things that have shown that it actually works?
Yes.
Tell me more. Give me another one. I'm just intrigued now.
Another one, a client called me and she was crying, and she had said that her son was being taken away in an ambulance and that his intestines had twisted up.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And so she asked if I could untwist them. And I said, well, the angels told me that if I'm asked to do something, then I have the power to do it. So between the ambulance ride and me working on him.
What, through the phone?
Yeah. Yep. Through the phone.
Okay.
Yep. He got to the hospital and they did an ultrasound and he was untwisted.
Wow.
Pretty crazy.
Okay. And so you're feeling this energy? Is it something that you're...
I do feel it. Mm-hmm.
You feel it?
Yes, I feel it. Mm-hmm.
And how does it translate through you? Do you feel like palpitation? Do you feel...
I feel where the pain is.
You feel where the pain is?
I feel where the pain is. Yeah. So when I was
Wow.
working and untwisting his intestines, I could feel it in my body.
That is
So I was
very
able to
interesting.
unknot it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit back here to our finance component. But look, everything in finance and in story intertwines, and we are the show that provides this insight. Because more than just numbers or salary, there is a story behind it. And for us to provide accurate recommendations, it is about understanding the individuals that I'm speaking with. I'm very glad that you're walking me through some of those emotions, which I'm sure were not easy. Okay, so this energy healing aspect, how much do you make per month on this?
$460 at the moment.
Okay, and that is because you're working with a couple clients pretty much, and they're
Yes.
coming to see you. Is that how it works?
We go through Zoom.
Oh, you're doing through Zoom.
Through Zoom or through phone calls. Yeah.
All right, next stream of income, you also are a dispensary. What?
I wanted to do a paint and puff. There are a lot of people that do paint and sips with
Okay.
wine. So how about an introduction to a paint and puff?
Oh,
right?
so with cannabis products.
With cannabis products.
Okay,
Yes.
how much does that pays you per month?
About 500.
500, okay. And you have another stream of income.
Yes.
Legal Shield, what is this?
Yes. So if you look at it like a Costco, it's a membership base where many people are paying into the service, and individuals don't need the service every single day, but when they need it, they're able to contact a law firm and get their questions answered.
I see. So from these legal services, how much would you say you make per month?
$200.
200, okay. Do you have any other streams of income?
I don't think so.
Okay. So together, together, Marleen, that brings your total income at 64,300. Okay. When we look at the median in the United States for people in your age bracket between 45 and 54, you're at 52 years old. It is 61,400. So you're just a pinch over that, driven by a bunch of your side incomes, but also you live in Seattle, which is not the cheapest, although your expenses on rent are not that bad, as we'll be discussing this. That brings your monthly net at 3,750. Does it seem fair?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to some of your assets here, I see that you provided us with your statement. I see a balance on your checking account of 2,200. Okay. Do you have any other accounts?
No.
No. No retirement funds.
No retirement
No
funds.
saving accounts.
No savings account.
Yeah, okay. But here I see that you're also recording, though, some cars. Okay. So you have 2 cars.
Yes.
A 2007 Accord, which here, as we look into the KD Blue Book value for it, it's around, let me see, 4,500.
Oh.
And you also have, that's private party, a Jeep 1998 that's still holding with $2,800 worth of private party resale. Not too bad. You don't own any money on this, right?
No.
Okay, so that brings your car assets to 7,300. What else do you own?
A boat?
Oh, you have a boat.
Yes.
Okay, so how much do you own on that boat?
I owe $11,000.
$11,000. How much is it worth?
It's worth $35,000.
Okay, so let's say then you have $24,000 worth of equity. Do you have any other assets?
I didn't mention that we have a runabout. So that's a little boat.
Oh, you have a runabout? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
How much is that worth?
It's probably worth $7,000.
No way.
Way.
Wow. Okay, not too bad. Okay. Okay, so that brings right now at 52 years old, Marleen, your total assets to 40,500, which is, I mean, it's okay. It's not as great as we would like it to be, honestly, given that you are in that kind of retirement adventure in a couple years. You know, you still have a lot of time, but with your husband here at 60 years old, does he has any asset?
No.
No. Okay, so you kind of, it's both of you here, huh?
Yes.
Okay, that is interesting as we think about your next component here, which looks at your expenses and your debt. Let's start first with our number one component, your rent. How much do you pay for rent here?
$850.
$850. Wow, that's not bad at all. Okay, you live, you said you live in the woods, right?
I live in the woods.
That includes utilities?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that brings your housing expense against your income at 23%. We like it to be below 28. Good job to you. I like what I'm seeing. For Seattle area, it's a pretty good idea. Number 2, transportation expenses. You own your car, you don't have any car payments. But here I'm seeing, looking at some of your expense, you're spending quite a bit on gas, about $100 per month, and also insurance. I record around $220. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. As that brings your transportation expense against your income at 9%. We like it to be below 15. So far, 2 for 2. You're doing great, Marleen.
Nice.
Let's move on together. And guys, it's not just all rainbows, and we'll be discussing about that. Let's move on here to some of your other expenses. Do you have a pet?
I do have a pet.
Oh, you have a pet. Okay.
I do.
What is it? A dog? Is it a cat?
It's a gecko.
It's a gecko. Okay, that's interesting. The first of its kind on this show. Does it cost you any money?
He's not costing me any money right now.
Okay. So, I am a kind of a hard ass when it comes to pet insurance. But I guess for a gecko, I'm not too sure if that's applicable to your case. So I will let it go for now. But if you have a dog or a cat, guys, please consider pet insurance, please. As you know, and if you've seen the show many times, it is key in the United States. So, you know what? Let's dive a little bit together into some of your expenses. And here you're coming up with quite a number of pages of statements. So, as many people who come to this show, and the number one expense in the United States, of course, I'm joking, but so many people use it. Marleen, you spend quite a bit on coffee. There you go. Minus $8, minus 11, 12. What's the idea behind this?
I
What's
knew
going
that was
on?
going to be asked. I had coffee this morning at home.
Okay, but
Yeah.
when I'm thinking about some of your goals here in the future to kind of bring together your business to the next level around energy, and you may wanting to quit your job and kind of create a venture for yourself, traveling around the United States and applying your skills. Those type of expenses, when you're not increasing much of your assets, should be put in question as you think about making those expenses. And outside of just coffee, I see also that you are a partner of Red Robin. With a couple transactions this month, and they're pretty steep. $65, $67. Are you kind of going on a date with your husband, I guess?
Yes.
I see.
So that is our date night. Red Robin has the best milkshakes.
Oh, I see.
Yes, but after 23 years of marriage, I have been the main provider, main financial person. So I've asked my husband to now take me out on a date.
Oh, wow.
So
when was the last time he brought you on a date and paid for it? No way. No way.
Way.
How many years?
Probably dating. Probably year number one. Yeah.
How long have you guys been married?
23.
23 years. So you've been with your husband for 23 years. Mm-hmm. And since the dating world, he has not paid once for you when you guys have been going out?
No.
Wow.
It's always been me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've put kind of an ultimatum on him?
I have put an ultimatum on him.
Has he been doing efforts towards that?
It has been just a very short time.
I see.
Yes, but yes. This weekend.
Oh.
He will be taking me out on a date.
Let's go. Okay, that's awesome. All right, your grandfather is bringing your grandma on a date. Okay, as we look at some of the rest of your expenses here, I see a lot of them actually related to your business, some of the cannabis and the crystals and so on. But you're spending a pretty big amount as well on goodwill. I guess you're not paying full price, but a couple $100 on goodwill now?
Yes.
Why?
I was living on a boat, so everything is built into a boat. So I had no furniture. So just picking up things, I'd rather buy it secondhand versus paying full price.
Okay, so not a bad strategy, guys. Look, I'm even considering moving to LA. And right now, everything is kind of in the transition for me too, And so I'm not going to say that I'm not going to buy everything from Goodwill, but sometimes aftermarket items are as good and you're making a good deal. Okay, I'm not too sad about this, although it's quite a large amount of money and it doesn't really align with your goals. But overall, as I review some of your expenses here, you're spending a lot on groceries, gas, and outside of that kind of Red Robin and some of the kind of fast food components as well, then I'm seeing you're not doing too bad, although when it sums, we'll be discussing about this in the money case. But altogether, today, Marleen, you're not showing up with any other debt other than your boat, which I'm glad to see. You don't have much savings though, for if something was to happen, your husband can't really take on the flame and you're kind of on your own, huh? Okay, so that brings your current amount of debt here as we think about your boat that you mentioned at $11,000. What is the interest rate on it?
0.
0? Wow. Oh, that's right. You bought it from that
yes.
relationship healing person. Okay, and with decent minimum payments around $650. Oh, I'm sorry. You also here are recording a personal loan of $2,200.
Yes.
Interest rate 0%. What is that though?
That was a loan that I borrowed from a friend.
Oh,
yes.
I see.
Yes.
How long has it been running for?
1 year.
Okay. Are you planning on paying her back soon?
Yes.
Are you guys still friends?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I pay her back every month.
All right. Paying her back every month. How much do you pay her?
$60.
Okay. Well, she's being nice, huh? $60.
Absolutely.
It's gonna $60 at $2,200 is gonna take 3 years to pay her back. Holy smokes, she's giving you the greatest rate ever.
Yes.
So right now, I have a pretty good understanding of what is your financial situation. That brings me then to our next segment together, Marleen, which looks at the money case. And we are back, guys, back here for the money case as we think about the case of Marleen at 52 years old here, who has for dream to buy a trailer and get on the road practicing her energy healing. So I have a question for you, Marleen. Today, how much per month do you think you save?
Nothing.
That's right. Exactly as I calculated, absolutely 0. Why? Because you're stacking on a bunch of expenses and I've highlighted some. But when we think together about how much do you think last month you've spent on things that were quantify as maybe unnecessary. And I'm accounting for the coffee, the Red Robin, the fast food. Some of those components are on goodwill, although I'm giving you a little bit of a legway. But how much do you think last month you spent on all of those non-necessary expenses?
I would say over $600.
Yes, and you're right, Marleen. You spent last month, are you ready for this? Not $500, but $752. Marleen, it's sad to hear because at 52 years old, I would like for you to start thinking about your retirement, especially as you have your husband as a dependent that is also relying a little bit on you, and you want to pursue your dreams and you don't have much money saved for retirement on the side. Look at this, $750 on things that, for the most part, are not going to be so great for your future endeavors as you think about your short-term and long-term goals. You're grinding like crazy with so many side hustles, but you're spending your money on things that you could be more mindful of, okay? What is your reaction when you see something like this?
It's real. And seeing where it went to, because it just turns, when you buy food and coffee and it's waste, it doesn't turn into anything. It turns to poo. Had I had that this month and last month and the month before and next month, I would be very close to purchasing my trailer.
Exactly. And that brings us, guys, together to our next segment, which looks at what I would do if I was in your position. Number one, I've identified all of your expenses line by line, including some of your payments around your boat, some of the car, insurance, helping your husband, and so on and so forth, as well as some of your business running expenses. Today, for your needs, which is money if shit hits the fan and you need to survive, you need $2,992 per month. That is 80% of your income. We like it to be below 50. Okay? So this is quite high, and that is because also I'm accounting for some of your business expenses that we've mentioned together, which are necessary for your income. As we think about some of your goals as well here, which you want to buy a trailer in a couple of months to start your venture, I want for us to start thinking about how to allocate your expenses, which leads me to my second section, your wants. This is money that I'm allowing you today to spend on things that are going to give you some type of short-term pleasure, some like the goodwill and some of the Red Robins, coffee, and so on. I'm actually going to cut it down to $200. So you're going from $750 to $200. Why? Well, that is because I want you to start thinking about your future and your ambitions. If you're going to continue gravitate and pursue the same expenses here, which you provided 2 months of statement and it's a similar pattern, when are you going to go the next step? When are you going to, you're just, buying yourself short time, but that's not going to bring you much anywhere. And you've had that experience of living a pretty good life. Are you going to be at 65 years old still running on spare change for some of the wants that you have? No, I want you to start thinking about yourself in the future and where you want to be with your practice. So $200 is it. So where does that leave you on the side? Well, the number that I want you to have in mind by the time you leave today, that I want you to save at minimum, is $550 per month, which to me, based on what I'm seeing, seems perfectly fine. Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay. To save that $550 per month, a strategy that you could employ is the jar strategy, where you would put different jars, visualize that target, and put money little by little into this throughout the months, and then transfer that money to the higher saving accounts, which is going to allow you to fight inflation. What do you think about visualization strategies for you?
I think that's really smart. I've not played that and I've not done it, but I've heard that it's very successful. So I'm really excited about doing that.
Okay. And from that point, this is what I would do with that amount. Number one, I know you have for objective, and you're not going to like what I'm about to say, but to start right away your venture. But to me, in order to start this venture, I want you to have at least a basic finance floor, okay, which is defined as an emergency fund. And you know that, right? You've lived through some of that. I want you to start putting that money into a high yield saving account. And your target number one should be $5,000. Okay, this is money that you're never going to touch. This is money that, something arises and, touching wood for your husband or things on the side. You never know what's going on. Right now, at your age, Marleen, with $2,000 in cash, it's very tough because you have nothing else really other than some assets, but you can't live a whole life with $40,000. It's not going to bring you anywhere, So instead of prioritizing right away going into business, which I know your motivations and I know you have a very firm timeline around that, just build a foundation flow. It's going to allow you to breathe, okay? How do you do that? Well, you're going to have to target that amount by reducing all the BS expenses that we've mentioned together. Okay, coffee, no more, at least for the next couple of months. Do we agree? Or maybe once a month, but you have $200 to play on that. That's up to you. Number two, please, you're still working. I want you to start putting money into your retirement. It is a little bit scary at 52 years old that you have $0 on the side. Just a little bit of contribution can give you a much greater life. And I'm not asking you to put thousands of it because you're in that entrepreneurial venture. You have the energy to go for it. And so I don't want to block you. Okay. And what's nice is that at least you've not been using bad debt to go towards your endeavors. You're using kind of a cash mentality, which is good to see. But just start the behavior of it. And my recommendation, just do a rough IRA, You're using some of that. You're not in a very high tax bracket. You can put up that post-tax money and you just let it go on the side. Start minimum contribution, maybe $100, $200 a month, but start that behavior because I still want you to be ready by the time you come to that retirement age. Number 3, I want you to closely think about how you're going to allocate your time. And what I mean by that is I respect the fact that you have your hands in so many businesses, but I truly believe at my core that at some point you need to focus on a couple of big line items. And you're a little bit in dispensary, energy healing, the store manager, the legal shields, things on the side and so on. And I like kind of that hurdle, but to me, if you feel like you want to go to that energy aspect and venture, I would allocate 40% of your energy for the store manager or just your mind at least. Maybe 40% on that energy and then 20% on other is how I would really focus my mind because you want to make an income and a career of this, okay? A similar way as I'm thinking right now about my different ventures. I have a full-time, I have YouTube, I have some Airbnbs, I have some different ideas about kind of Amazon and so on too, but at the end of the day, it's about separating your mind in a way that allows you to fully focus on this as you think of it as an investment. Okay, and from that point, I would start little by little setting funds on the side for your business because you're going to have to build an LLC. You're going to have to register all of those components and open a business account where you firmly split your expenses because you're going to be able to get tax components and I'm sure, have you built an LLC around your business already for that energy component or no? Okay, you could benefit from so many tax incentives by doing this. Allocating some of the funds with, for example, you're doing over Zoom, you can have tax benefits from expensing your internet, your computer expenses, some of your driving and so on. But at the end of the day, at its core, I'm thinking that you should continue to target that venture on the energy front, but you need to put yourself into a specific date and timeline that you're going to target. Emergency fund, retirement, and the purchase of that trailer would be the sequence at which I would go. I wouldn't rush right away into business because you don't have yet the financial backup in the back if shit hits the fan. And what is crazy about you is that you have so much more experience than I do on this. And so it should be very easy, I believe, for you to know how you're going to manage that venture. So I don't want to put too much of this because I think you already know it. What do you think about this?
I think that's great. I think that's great. You know, it's funny how you say that I have that backing. And yes, I do, right? And it's so much easier to talk to clients and help clients and cheer them on versus yourself. So I appreciate you being so real and open and honest about all that I've shared with you. And
Okay.
yeah, yes.
So the question that I have for you then is, when I'm going to reach out to you in a month, are you going to tell me, yes, Romain, I have put $550 on an emergency fund on the side?
Yes.
Okay. Shake my hand. I will own you accountable to this.
Yes, absolutely.
As we think about the rest of your assets right now, given that your husband is living on that boat and so on, I probably wouldn't touch some of that. You want to continue maintaining those minimum payments and so on. Please, please, please do not yet consider a business loan. Okay,
No.
I would not. It's going to be about timing and about playing the game right. Not rushing too much yet is the biggest thing that I have for you. Okay? All right. As we wrap up our discussion, I want to open it to you on some of the final words that you may have.
My final thoughts are that I'm glad I went through this exercise.
Okay. And we hope that you're going to take action. All right, guys, it was a pleasure having you on the show, Marleen. Thank you for coming up and sharing the depths of your story with such waves into your background. If you like those types of stories, we invite you to as well look at some of our other videos which highlight a very wide range of experiences. Until then, we see you guys next time. À bientôt. Guys, it has been 1 month since Marleen has been on the show. It is time for a follow-up. Marleen, how are you doing?
I am wonderful.
Awesome, Marleen. Let's quickly dive into some of the questions that we had. If you guys have been just watching the show, I'm sure you're thrilled to know. The first question, how was your date with your husband?
It was amazing. I had no idea. I had put that challenge out to him. And I get to the boat, and he said, we're going to go for a cruise.
Okay, nice.
Yes. So we went for a 4-hour cruise. And he had a captain. So Captain Kitty came and ran the boat. So I got to enjoy being on the boat and on the water.
Very nice. Okay, well, that's checked. Let's move on a little bit to more of the financial aspects. Number 2, have you been able to put some of those savings into a high-yield saving account to fight inflation?
So as far as a high-yield savings account, absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
But I do have it tucked away, and it's not tucked under my mattress, but it's close.
I see.
So, yes.
So you have it in cash pretty much?
I have it in cash.
Okay. Do you feel like having it in cash prevents you from using that money, or it would be the same if it was on an account?
I think it would be the same if it was an
Then
account.
why don't you put it on a
Yes.
high-yield saving account? It gives you 5% and it's no risk. It's free right away.
Yes, but then I won't have it in my hands.
Ah, okay.
Or under my mattress.
I
Yes.
see. Okay,
So
well-
yes, so we'll have to work on that one.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine. Number 3, have you... this one is tough. Last time we spoke, you had 0 into retirement funds. Have you opened that list or started a retirement fund account?
Absolutely not.
Oh my God, Marleen, come on. Why not?
Probably just ultimately procrastination.
Okay, I mean, you should just consider even taking the first steps of opening the account. And even if you put like $20 a week or something like this, it gets you into the behavior and momentum. Next question. Have you been able to save the $550 that we've discussed as the gold number?
There is $622 in savings.
622. Okay, so there you
bucket.
go. Very nice. So you've been able to achieve on that.
Yes.
How have you made it happen?
Less coffee.
Nice.
More
okay.
coffee made at home.
Awesome.
So I went to the coffee shack and I bought the coffee that they make and brought it home.
Very nice.
And reduction in eating out.
Oh, okay. No more, what is it? Red
Red
Robin?
Robin.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Any new changes at work or everything's the same?
Everything's the same.
What about energy work? Have you got any new clients?
I do.
Oh, you
I do
did?
have some new clients, yes. And I've been doing vendor events and just getting out to let people know what is in the Abundance Boutique and what the experience would be like. So speaking of which, I brought you a gift.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Marleen.
You're
What did you bring me?
welcome.
Nice.
I brought you a protection jar.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about this.
So within that protection jar, it was made on the new moon.
Okay.
which is new opportunities, experiences, and possibilities. It's made with amethyst chips. And those amethyst chips are for opening up enlightenment, opening up spirituality. There's a key to close doors that no longer serve you.
Nice.
The key also will open future doors of possibilities. There's onyx in there for grounding, and there is a clear quartz in there to amplify the energies within that.
Very nice. I appreciate that. How should I be using this?
Do you meditate?
I mean, I try. Yes, I would say I have some reflection period before going to bed. We do a kind of, me and my partner, we do 3 things that we are grateful of at night.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be using this then at that time?
Yep, you can set that in the middle and set your intentions of what you are grateful for and what the possibilities of having that gratefulness, right? What are the possibilities that are opening up? And that will charge your crystals.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, well, I appreciate. Thank you so much, guys. Look, this is one of the benefits from doing a show like this is, having experiences like this. So I truly appreciate this. Means a lot. Thank you, Marleen.
You're welcome.
Next point that I want for us to discuss together is how have you been allocating your time? And what I mean by that is when we met, you were working on so many different projects. I know that you have for goal to build kind of a saving account to buy that trailer and start your adventure in that field.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been able to focus more into that vision, or are you still kind of hustling around with the paint and puff or something along those lines, if I remember well, or are you still working on all those different projects?
Well, I have more paint and puffs coming up. So I'm working on the 2024 schedule right now.
Okay.
Which will then be great because I'll have my whole year laid out, whether it be healing circles or paint and puffs, game nights. I have 2 locations that I'm able to do this. So that has really been able to focus in on the clarity, where it's going to be, when it's going to be, and be able to set up my whole year.
Okay. So would you say that you've been able to be a little bit more focused as well in your intentions on those points?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Very nice. So now that you've had this experience, Marleen, how do you see yourself and how are you going to plan around your future?
We, my husband and I, take a moment out and we do a vision casting, right? A mind melding, vision casting, dumping out all the things to say what didn't work in the past and what are the possibilities for the future. And then we look at the next 12 months, lay out what all the possibilities, what we want to do, and then reverse engineer that so that we create a 30, 60, 90-day game plan. And then monthly, we look at that game plan to make sure that we're on track for what we want to do. How many people we're wanting at our events? What is the dollar amount? What does that need to look like? Because when you create that and you put that out, whether it be just for you and your partner or your business partner or your family, they know what is coming and what the possibilities are to be able to expand and create something even bigger that you had no idea was even possible.
That's awesome. So you feel great right now?
I feel great.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that was Marleen 1 month later. A really good, I would say, some easy things that you can catch up on. But the most important one was the behavior and the saving, and you hit on both of those. The rest are kind of like, up to your preference. I would want for you to start working on that, but it should be easy wins. So I'm very happy with our follow-up. I'm excited for what's to come for you. And of course, we will try to follow up with you in the coming months as you continue to ramp up your business. Thank you, Marleen.
Thank you.